Michael C says, so glad to have one of this. I'm focusing on being a CG journalist, and I'm currently making more interesting 3D models, rigs, shaders now that college is over. I want to eventually make lower poly models for games to complement the high poly visualization stuff. Just wondering, what am I potentially missing in this portfolio? I want to work in the industry, and for example, I know I need more 3D modeling to happen in Maya instead of Blender. I have more things on my website, but I only keep the finalized, correctly modeled things on ArtStation. How do I go? Okay. How do I go about showing skills and everything? Nice. So, it doesn't really matter if you're doing things inside of Blender or Maya. Nowadays, most studios are flexible enough that even if you do the modeling in Blender and then export things, you're gonna be fine. But yeah, we're not seeing that many like interesting models, Michael. Especially as a generalist, you do want to tackle things that are more complex. Here's the honest sort of like thought process that I like to follow to know whether or not something is worth it as a modeling piece for my portfolio. And the answer is, if someone who has just learned 3D could do it as well or learn it in less than 1 or 2 months, it's an easy piece. Like this one right here, the guitar or ukulele. This to me is an exercise piece. This is something that you do to learn how to model. Is not necessarily something that you're going to be using on your portfolio. Okay, same for like this like knife right here or combat dagger, right? It's such a simple model. You're not really showing or showcasing that there's anything, you know, powerful about this thing. Modeling is fine, but it's such a simple model that I don't think it's really helping the whole portfolio. Ours are really good. I do feel like this one is looking a little bit shiny on the shader side of things. Apologies, not bad. It's decent. I don't remember this model, so I can't tell you how close or far away we are from the model. But in general, it looks decent. So this one's a good one. Is the shader that I don't love. Like the green looks very, I don't know, plasticky. Beep boop, robot rig. See, again, like this is the thing, man. I really appreciate the whole rigging process and the whole explanation and everything, but the model is so simple, man. So simple. It's just cylinders and spheres, and not even like complex like shapes or forms, and that can really hurt you. This one's a little bit better because it's definitely a little bit more complex. Do we have the topology? Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Yeah, so this is the kind of complexity that we need for the models. So in the same vein or in the same like process that we're doing that, if you're going to be doing a robot, like whenever I'm teaching my basic Maya class or my basic Blender class, I always tell my students to pick a robot as part of the final, and they go for concepts and they look for some stuff, right? And some of them show me the basic Matt Dixon robots. Have you guys seen those? Matt Dixon robot. So this robots right here, these are very cute. I love these ones. Like all of the illustrations are very nice, very cute, but they're so simple, so simple. This is something that you do on your first or second week of learning 3D, and because of the simplicity of things, right? Like you learn how to do an extrusion and a couple of bevels and some like insets and things like that. This is not something, I mean, you can include it in your portfolio. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that the amount of experience or the amount of complexity that you would expect for someone that wants to be a hard surface modeler is not this, because anyone who learns about modeling should be able to do this at one point. Okay, so if you're going to be doing a robot, I'm also not saying, hey, you need to go and do this kind of like complexity. It would be ideal, right? But I understand that this is definitely a little bit more high quality, high polish work. But I would recommend to try something, you know, like this. Something a little bit more interesting, has more cuts, more an interesting silhouette. Something that really challenges you and really separates what you're doing from what everyone else is doing. It's very important to push some of the modeling skills a little bit more. Because here's the thing, man, and again, I'm sorry if I'm being brutally honest today with some of you guys. Right now, this portfolio that I'm seeing, to me, doesn't look like a generalist portfolio because I'm only seeing prop modeling. That's what I'm seeing. So if I was going to give you a job, Michael, I would give you or offer you a job as a prop modeler. Because even the textures that we're seeing are very simple. I'm not seeing like any extreme or like interesting variation on the textures of the elements. I'm seeing just basic shaders and basic rendering. which is fine. Again, there is a market for this. There is a place on the pipeline for this kind of stuff. But this doesn't say to me generalist. I'm not seeing environments. I'm not seeing characters. I'm not seeing animation. I'm not seeing. I do see one rigging here. So if you want to do the generalist thing, you need to do something that's a lot more like intense.